to make for this, his first episode of Gilmore Girls. He's been auditioning for this series since the pilot, first for the role of Dean, then Tristan, and finally Jess. Now he's managed to get himself through the Warner Brothers gates as Robert, the Life and Death Brigade's resident marksman for the group's Out of Africa adventure. Though he can't know it now, his first episode, You Jump, I Jump Jack, will quickly become one of the most beloved in the series, if he can find the shooting site. Though the map's a bit dodgy, there are members of the production crew scattered about every half mile to encourage you in the right direction. As first episode experiences go, this one's breathtaking. Never mind the flat tire he'll suffer on the way back after they wrap at 3 the next morning. Just a few weeks later, and nearly 6,000 miles away in the Hanover district of Germany, a 20-something accountant named Sarah wakes up to her 3 a.m. alarm, fires up her computer, and begins the downloading process for the Gilmore Girls episode You Jump, I Jump Jack that aired in the U.S. the previous night, before settling down for another couple hours' sleep. This ritual has become a way of life for people around the world. Because of the dubbing, we usually get the episodes that air in the U.S. a few months later, Sarah says, so when the storyline became interesting, I started downloading the English episodes right after they aired. Oh, I miss downloading Wednesdays, says another fan, Katka Radichova in the Czech Republic. While American television programs have been eagerly consumed the world over for generations, Gilmore Girls is one of only a few that's driven international fans to not only seek out the latest episodes, but also to write Gilmore stories of their own, maintain websites dedicated to it and its cast, and even to learn English to bypass the slipshod dubbings and subtitles that have marred its international releases from the beginning. What is it about this series that has kept audiences all over the world debating every nuance of every episode more than 3 years after the last one aired? And why do those who worked on Gilmore Girls still juggle their busy schedules and negotiate Los Angeles' notorious traffic to see each other several times a year? It was questions like these, as well as the author's own love of this series, that led to the writing of the Gilmore Girls Companion. Before starting on this book in June 2008, I'd conducted several interviews for a forthcoming book about the making of the 70s sitcom Soap. While surviving members of the cast and crew were gracious and always willing to share their experiences, the nearly 30 years that had passed since it ended had faded even the keenest memories. The idea that recollections about the making of Gilmore would be similarly lost spurred me to make just one more phone call and to send that 1-in-a-million shot email. Though great pains were taken to reach out to everybody involved, several declined to participate. Some wanted to close that particular chapter of their life. Others hinted that they were holding on to their stories for their own memoirs. Fortunately, the 40-plus people who did take the time to share their memories helped to create the most detailed behind-the-scenes account of Gilmore Girls to date. Before we get started, a quick note on how names are handled in this book and in the audiobook. Though I've stuck with the journalistic convention of referring to people by their surnames, you'll find 2 exceptions here. Initially, this came about because balancing the names of Daniel Palladino and Amy Sherman Palladino throughout a book-length narrative proved a pretty cumbersome prospect. However, it soon occurred to me that after spending a good 153 episodes traipsing about their make-believe world, who among us really thinks of them as anything but Amy and Dan? Primarily, this audiobook is meant to give fans some idea of what went on behind the scenes of the series, from the first glimmer of the idea to the final episode. Though some of its hundreds of cultural references are mentioned when necessary, this is not meant to be a compendium of those, which could easily fill a book this size on their own. The decision was also made to leave out cast and crew information for each episode, as this is all available online in a variety of places. Character names are spelled as they appear on imdb.com. Age information concerning actors, too, has also been omitted, as it can complicate things for them when they audition for roles significantly younger than they are. When there's a reference to something that has taken place in the Gilmore universe, as we said in the introduction, it will be followed by a citation of the season and the episode. Quotes from the series are transcriptions. Where every effort was made to ensure their accuracy, names especially are open to interpretation, barring access to the final shooting scripts. With all that sorted, let's get this party started. Though our destination is the Anywhere USA town of Stars Hollow, Connecticut, our story actually begins in California's San Fernando Valley. Give Cat Kirk a pet carefully. Slip this Kirkstown tourist map in your pocket or purse and take a hearty swig of Miss Patty's Founder's Day Punch. It's a wild ride. You're gonna need it.